Hello everyone, this is Jag. Well, in this video I'm going to cover 20 vegetables that you can plant in September and have a bountiful garden all the way through fall, all the way till December. Now all of these vegetables are really good to plant in zone 9 in September, zone 9 and zone 10. Now when we're talking about months, it gets a little bit tricky because the first frost date is different for different zone. So if you're in zone 7 and zone 8, you want to get these planted in the first or second week of September. For zone 6 and lower, you want to get them in August. So let's get started with these 20 vegetables.
Number 1, lettuce. Lettuce likes cool weather and will bolt in warm weather. Lettuce loves temperature below 80 degrees Fahrenheit. Good thing about lettuce is that even if you get early frost in October or November, you can still plant lettuce in September and keep harvesting lettuce leaves until you get first frost. Sow lettuce seeds 1/4 inch deep. Plant spacing and row spacing should be 12 inches apart. If you don't get frost until mid-November, you can also harvest whole heads of lettuce as well. Number 2, cilantro. Now cilantro also loves temperature below 80 degrees Fahrenheit, and you can keep harvesting cilantro leaves as cilantro is growing. Plant cilantro seeds 1/4 inch deep. Plant spacing should be 6 inches apart and row spacing 12 inches apart. You can start harvesting cilantro leaves just 1 month after planting. So even if you get first frost in late October or early November, you can still plant cilantro seeds in September and get a good harvest until the first frost. Cilantro also grows really well in containers.
Number 3, broccoli. Now broccoli is hardy to 28 degrees Fahrenheit, and broccoli is easy to grow as compared to cauliflower and cabbage. Broccoli turns into a nice huge crown, which is the flower of the plant, and that is edible flower. So you can enjoy broccoli crowns all winter long. You can grow lots of broccoli. You can harvest the main crown of broccoli and keep harvesting lots of little broccolinis as well and enjoy them in your food. Number 4, kale. The kale is frost resistant to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you get a little bit of light frost, kale will make it through it at no problem. However, kale leaves do get wilted in light frost. So if you want to enjoy tender kale leaves, you must cover your kale plants with either a plastic tote or greenhouse plastic. That way you can enjoy nice tender kale leaves all winter long. Number 5, Swiss chard. Now Swiss chard is hardy down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And Swiss chard is super easy to grow. You can start with some Swiss chard seeds. You can directly sow Swiss chard into the ground even in early fall, and you can enjoy Swiss chard all winter long. Now you can start harvesting kale and Swiss chard leaves as soon as the plant gets about 4 sets of leaves, and you can keep harvesting older leaves and encourage new leaves to grow. Number 6, collard greens. Now collard greens are hardy down to 5 degrees Fahrenheit. They can tolerate frost and some snow as well. Now collard green leaves are a little bit tough. That's why they're so hardy in winter. So if you want to enjoy collard green leaves, you must saute them or cook them and add them to your soup or some warm salad. Number 7, peas. Now peas are also really easy to grow. You can directly sow peas in your ground, or you can start pea seedlings ahead of time. Another note, you can also grow pea shoot microgreens, and I made a separate video on how to grow microgreens, top 5 microgreens you can grow, and also how to grow pea shoot microgreens as well. So check those out if you're interested. Now, growing peas is super easy. You just need some sort of a trellis for peas to climb on. And you can start harvesting peas in just 2 months, because pea plants will start producing peas just 2 months into growing. And you can harvest peas all the way into spring. Number 8, carrots. Now carrots are also frost resistant and they can take light snow as well. Carrots are hardy down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you do get some snow, you can still harvest carrots that are growing underground under the snow. So that's really cool thing about carrots. Lots of northern states in the United States and lots of countries in northern Europe plant the carrots in early fall, and they can harvest carrots even when there is snow on the ground, and they can keep harvesting carrots. However, if you get light frost and you don't even get snow, you can keep planting carrots in succession all winter long and keep harvesting carrots all the way up to spring. Now one crucial tip about growing carrots is that you must have loose soil. Otherwise your carrots will not grow nice and strong and straight. They will be crooked. So you must grow your carrots either in raised beds or on berms. I made a separate video on 5 root vegetables you must grow and 5 tips to grow root vegetables as well. So check that out if you're interested. Number 9, radish. Now just like carrots, radishes love loose soil. So you must plant your radishes either on berms or on raised beds. And radishes are hardy down to 28 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you get light snow, radishes will make it through. Now, nice thing about growing radishes and carrots is that the leaves are edible too. So you can add these leaves into your salad or also saute them to add them to your soup as well. Number 10, garlic, which is my favorite because garlic is absolutely maintenance free. You can just plant cloves of garlic into the ground in early fall for some states such as California, where we get light winters and light frost. So we plant our garlic in fall. If you are in northern states or in northern Europe or where it gets really cold and you get snow, you can plant your garlic in early spring and grow all the way through summer and harvest in fall. And garlic is absolutely maintenance free. All you do is plant the cloves into the ground and wait about 8 to 9 months. Keep watering them and these cloves will develop into nice bulbs. Be sure to mulch your garlic plants and also plant bigger cloves to grow bigger bulbs. I made a separate video on the complete guide on growing garlic.
Number 11, spinach. Now spinach is also really good to start in September because you can start harvesting spinach leaves just 1 month after planting. You can keep harvesting spinach leaves until you get your first frost. Number 12, cauliflower.
Now cauliflower is a little bit tough to grow because insects and pests love cauliflower. So you must spray your cauliflower with neem oil and a pure castle soap to keep the bugs off of them. And also you can use some diatomaceous earth to get rid of some of the beetles, some of the earwigs as well. Now cauliflower is hardy to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you get a little bit of frost or even a little bit of snow, you can still grow cauliflower.
Number 13, cabbage.
Cabbage is similar to cauliflower and pests love cabbage as well. So you have to be very proactive in spraying cabbage with neem oil and pure castle soap as well. And cabbage is hardy to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. So you can always grow cabbage in frost and even light snow as well.
Number 14, mustard. Mustard also likes cool weather and you can start mustard from seed in September. You can start harvesting leaves of mustard just 1 month after planting. So if you get your first frost in mid-October or after, you'll be able to get good harvest from mustard leaves. Plant mustard seeds half an inch deep. Plant spacing should be 3 inches apart and row spacing 9 inches apart. You can deadhead the mustard flowers to encourage more leaves to grow. However, mustard flowers are also edible. Number 15, fenugreek. You can start fenugreek from seed. Just soak the seeds in water 2 hours before planting. Sow the seeds half an inch deep. Plant spacing should be anywhere from 1 to 3 inches apart and row spacing 12 inches apart. You can start harvesting fenugreek leaves just 1.5 months after planting. The more you harvest, the more leaves will grow. You can keep harvesting fenugreek leaves until the first frost hits. Number 16, potatoes. Potatoes love cool weather below 80 degrees Fahrenheit. You can start potatoes in August or September. Just make sure you give potatoes at least 3 months before the first frost hits. That way you can get the most harvest. Plant the whole potato just 1 inch below the soil. Plant spacing and row spacing should be anywhere from 12 to 18 inches apart. After 3 months, you can get a lot of potatoes from your harvest. If you start your potatoes in September and you get your first frost in November just 2 months after planting, the potatoes will be small, but you'll still be able to harvest quite a few potatoes. You can also plant potatoes in containers as well. Number 17, onions. Now you can start your onions in September, and if your region gets a little bit of frost during the winter, the onions are frost hardy and they will keep on growing all the way through winter. And you can harvest mature onions in spring. Just make sure you grow short day onions in fall. If your region gets heavy frost or snow, you can still grow onions in September and harvest them as green onions. You can grow onions to maturity in zone 8 and above. If you're in zone 7 and below, you can grow them as green onions. You can grow onions from sets or from seeds. Just plant the seeds 1/4 inch deep. Plant spacing should be 4 inches apart and row spacing anywhere from 4 to 6 inches apart. I also made a complete guide on growing lots of onions, so check that out if you're interested. Number 18, beets. Sow the seeds directly into your garden at least 2 months before the first frost. Sow seeds 1/4 inch deep. Plant spacing should be 3 to 4 inches apart and row spacing 12 inches apart. Beets take up to 3 months to harvest if you want to get really big beets. However, just after 2 months, you can start harvesting beets. Number 19, turnips. You can also seed turnips right into your ground just 2 months before the first frost date. If you get your first frost in November, you can plant turnip seeds in August or September. In about 2 months, you can harvest really nice turnips. Number 20, arugula. Arugula is very easy to grow and is practically maintenance free. Arugula does not do well in heat and it loves cool temperature, and it can even tolerate light frost. It can tolerate temperatures all the way down to 10 degrees Fahrenheit. Arugula seeds can germinate all the way down to 40 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 4 degrees Celsius. Arugula is great sauteed, or it can also be used in salads.
I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you can plant all of these vegetables in September and have a bountiful garden this fall, and I'll see you in another video.